Hi guys, my name is Caitlin MacArthur. I'm a marketing specialist here at Celarity, and today we have Celarity Recruiter, Matt Grounds. How's it going today, Matt?
It's going well. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Perfect. This is my first one, so I'm excited to have you.
Nice, nice. So after you do like 100 or 200, people have to scroll all the way down to find me as the first one. That's tough, but that's all
Well,
right. I'm
we'll
happy to be
change
the first one here.
it. We'll change
Yeah.
it. We'll come back to you, we promise.
All right, cool.
So today I kind of wanted just to talk a little bit to you about common questions and misconceptions about contracting. Um,
Sure.
a lot of job seekers who, are currently looking for new positions have a lot of questions about contracting, and they're almost hesitant to apply to those jobs. So I
Yeah.
kind of just wanted to talk to you a little bit about it so that they have more information about contracting in general.
Yeah. There's a number of misconceptions I run into just as a recruiter about contracting in general. I think one of the biggest ones is that people just assume there's no benefits involved. I think it's a lot more common for agencies to have benefits available for their contractors these days. Regarding us specifically, we offer health, dental, vision, 401k, and PTO for our contractors. So there are benefits involved, and a lot of people just kind of like just don't think it's available, but it is. Also, one of the other things that I notice as well is, like, as far as misconceptions go, is that contracting isn't stable. I know every situation's different, so you can kind of take it with a grain of salt, but contingent labor is more affordable for a lot of different companies than full-time resources are. So a lot of times when layoffs take place, a lot of the contractors aren't, cut or kind of having their positions terminated. A lot of times it's full-time resources and the contractors keep their job. Now I know that there are probably situations where contractors might lose their position, but it to say that it's unstable, I don't think is necessarily, fair, considering that you could be in your position for 2 or 3 years as a contractor. So, yeah.
Right. And just to kind of like elaborate on that too. So even like small businesses who, have a smaller marketing team, maybe there's, a specific skill gap that they just, maybe they don't have a designer on hand. So
Right.
they have content writers, maybe they have like a digital marketing manager, but they don't have that designer to kind of help them push out the door these more bigger projects. So
Yeah.
smaller businesses might not have that budget, so they'll bring on a designer as a freelancer to kind of work with their full-time employees. And then maybe later down the road when budget is a little bit better and they really like working with that designer, they'll hire them on full-time.
Right.
Or they'll just keep them on for like ongoing projects, keep that relationship and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're providing value to them, they're going to notice that, and you can get converted or just kind of stay on long term as a contractor, whatever you prefer to do. So, and
Right.
again, every situation is different, but it is a lot more stable than a lot of people think. So, yeah.
Right. Awesome. Well, thanks for that insight.
Yeah,
Another question I wanted to ask you is,
sure.
um, this is like a big question that we get from candidates who are
Yeah,
wanting to go through our services.
sure.
Is there a cost to using Celarity's services as a candidate?
No, none at all. I get that a lot. Most agencies don't require any kind of fee to have your resume presented in front of different clients and different opportunities and jobs and things of that nature. It doesn't cost anything to the candidate for us, particularly through Celarity. We are profitable off the placements we make, not the candidates that we find. So it doesn't cost anything to the candidate.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now I kind of wanted to go into talk a little bit more about the biggest benefits of contracting. A big one to me is contracting is a way to get your foot in the door with these larger reputable companies.
Yeah.
I just want to get your take on that and elaborate more.
Yeah. So that's by far the number one, benefit to being a contractor is kind of getting your foot in the door with companies that it's a little bit harder to get into. I mean, we've all been in the situations where you've applied to a job and then you get an automated email saying, thank you for your resume. We'll get back to you if we think you're a fit. And then like 30 days to 2 months later, you get an email back saying your background was rejected and you forgot you applied to that position just in general. So it is a good way to get your foot in the door. It's a lot quicker. It's usually 1, maybe 2 interviews versus, 3 to 4 on a direct hire kind of position. And you're not up against internal referrals a lot of the time. Sometimes you might be in contracting, but that's something you maybe run into more on a direct hire kind of thing. On top of that, we work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies, and getting your foot in the door with those type of organizations just as a contractor, you can apply to other positions within the organization or get hired on full time with the team that you're on already as a contractor. So it does provide a lot of opportunity just by getting your foot in the door as a contractor in the first place.
Yeah. And I agree with that 100%. Just a great way, again, to get your foot in the door, get that experience on your resume. Because I think just, having those bigger companies on your resume will go a long way.
Yeah, definitely.
So on a side note, just really curious, do you mind sharing with our listeners what you're going to be for Halloween?
Yeah. So I've been watching the show What We Do in the Shadows. It's a comedy about vampires. So I am going to dress up as a vampire for Halloween. So little throwback.
I respect that. I really like Vampire Diaries. I know that's a different kind of vampire, but
yeah.
but love vampires, so definitely respect that. I haven't decided what I'm going to be for Halloween yet. I've been Lola from Space Jam 3 years.
There you go.
Running, so I might just put that jersey on and call it a day.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well,
that'll work.
Thank you so much, Matt, for taking the time to chat with me and just providing our viewers a little bit more information about contracting. Really
yeah, definitely happy to come on.